A man who is masculine is never going to let you sit there wondering where you stand. A man who's truly masculine knows that when a woman feels anxious, she feels uncertain, she feels confused, it's because his leadership is failing. He's not being the man that she needs, and he looks to himself to change that. He doesn't leave you questioning. He makes it clear, I want you. I'm leading this. You are safe with me. And if you have to beg for clarity, even if you have to ask for clarity frequently, you're not with a real man. You're not with a masculine man. You're not with a dominant man. You're with a boy. You're with an emasculated man. You're with a weak man. You're with a man who doesn't know how to lead and take care of you. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about what this masculine man really looks like and why he is showing up the way that he does with you. So that you can recognize that kind of man if you're single, or if you are in a relationship with a man who's not as masculine as you want and need, then you're going to understand what you're really wanting from him. This is to get your feminine needs fully online, so you realize what you need. Because you might be gaslighting yourself, you might be making excuses for a man, you might not really realize that your needs are okay. We're going to change that. So I'm going to introduce myself before we really get started. My name is Zach Rohde. I am here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams, using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure it's a really good one for you. Okay, so a masculine man. Masculine men are a bit of a rare breed today. The government and tech companies and those in control have done a really good job of annihilating masculine men, emasculating men, turning them into boys, turning them into perpetual Peter Pans who never really grow up and take care of women. And so what's going to happen to women when the masculine, the protective provider instinct in men starts to get sucked out? Well, they start to become masculinized. They start to become more guarded. They start to have difficulty letting go of control because you're not feeling the safety that you need to feel when you are with a man or when you're with just out in general. That's the world that we live in today. And that doesn't mean that there's not masculine men out there, right? For any single ladies watching, there's definitely lots of masculine men. You just need to know how to attract them. A lot of single women do not know how to attract these men. So the only kind of men that you're getting are really weak, emasculated men that are not going to be able to take care of you. So much of what I teach in these videos is all about learning how to either attract the most masculine man possible or how to inspire the absolute best, most masculine version of a man that you are with in a relationship. And then also for some women, all you can do is try your best in a relationship, right? But sometimes you do have to flow away from a man when you realize, like, man, I'm dating a child. I'm not dating a man who can really take care of me. And even when I start making shifts to be more feminine, start being more inspiring, he's not stepping up because he just wants to be a boy. And that's going to be the case for some men out there. So what is a masculine man? A masculine man, at his heart, at his root, at his core, it is a man who leads. The masculine is in the leader role in any kind of dynamic with a woman. He is leading and the woman is following. These roles are equally important, equally valuable. But a masculine man knows that he is the one that is supposed to be in charge. And this is not because he is better, superior in any way. He is in charge because his job is to take care of the feminine, to take care of a woman, take care of her heart, take care of her body, make sure that she is physically safe, emotionally safe, and that she is provided for. Healthy masculine men enjoy doing this. This is not an obligation. This is not something where it's like, oh, I gotta pay for a woman's date. Oh man, just to try to sleep with her, right? That's all just boy talk. Masculine men really enjoy taking care of a woman. They enjoy cherishing her. They enjoy protecting her. I have the, call it advantage, like as far as my ability to teach women what I'm sharing here. I have the advantage of used to have a boy mindset, a more child mindset, a Peter Pan mindset for a lot of my life, like literally into my 30s, my mid 30s. And I'm 40 now. And I also have the advantage of my masculine instinct coming fully online to understand how I am supposed to be showing up. Right? When my masculine instinct came online about almost 6 years ago? Almost 6 years ago. All of a sudden, I wanted to be a protector and be a provider, not just for my wife, but also just for the feminine in general, for the vulnerable in general. And that doesn't just mean physical protection, it also means emotional protection. And that almost overnight became something where it's like, this feels good. Like, this is my rightful thing that I should be doing. It's like going to eat a meal, like when you're hungry. It's like, oh yeah, this feels right. This feels obviously natural. Well, it's the same thing with a man's masculine instinct. It's like, of course I want to be doing this. This is all I want to be doing. So the leader role comes with a lot of responsibilities. And part of that responsibility for when with a woman specifically, but really anyone, it's to, and this is actually the most basic part of being a leader, it's to make sure that those that you are leading, or the person that you're leading, the woman that you are leading, feels safe to be led by you. Right? That should be pretty basic, because if someone doesn't feel safe to be led by you, then they're not going to want to follow you, and they're not going to be having a good experience. A healthy masculine man understands emotional safety as well as physical safety. A lot of men, unfortunately, they understand physical safety, right? Like they're easily trained to want to protect a woman from threats, from muggers, make sure that she's on the right side of the sidewalk, that she's close to him, all that kind of stuff. Very territorial. And I'm not talking about in an insecure way, because there are men who are like that. I'm talking about in a healthy masculine way, where a woman just feels safe with him. What some of those men definitely struggle with is the emotional protection side of things, where he is protecting her heart from feeling safe. Okay, so to be clear, safe is not an actual feeling, right? If you've ever said, I don't feel safe right now, or I feel unsafe, or I feel safe. If you've ever said that with a man, you're sharing something that's not a feeling. You're sharing something that's a judgment. And especially when you're sharing, I feel unsafe, or I don't feel safe, you're thinking like, I'm just sharing my feelings. But you're actually sharing a judgment, which to the masculine instinct is disrespectful. This is just a little tip as far as feminine communication goes. Because unfortunately, so many women, you're trying your best, right? Like what my experience with women, I'm not talking about like the really delusional, entitled ones out there. Just in general, my experience with women, personally, with my clients, with my followers, most women you're trying your best. You are trying to be respectful. You're trying to be open. You're trying to share what your needs are as best you know how. And unfortunately, because you haven't been taught, especially taught by a masculine man whose masculine instinct is online and can tell you this instinctually, right? This is, all the stuff I'm teaching is not coming from up here in my brain. I mean, it is, like I've conceptualized this so I can easily teach it. But I originally got it from listening to my body, especially with my wife, but also my women clients in my academy program. Like I've led hundreds and hundreds of women through a process of letting go, opening up, being vulnerable, and ultimately learning feminine communication to communicate their needs and feelings. And so I have all of these reference points, all of these experiences to know when a woman is not actually being feminine. I call it like unintentionally being disrespectful, because it's, for the most part, women aren't intentionally being disrespectful. They're energetically leading in some kind of way. And the masculine instinct, when presented with a woman who is leading him in any way, that can include judging or like asking what I call leading questions, energetically penetrating him in any kind of way, resisting him, and all kinds of other things that I call control patterns. When the masculine instinct feels that, a man is going to feel a certain level of irritation in his body. Now, understand I didn't say he takes out that irritation on a woman, because a healthy masculine man, he's not going to take out his irritation. He's going to feel it. He's going to stay emotionally centered in his body, and then he's going to lead the woman with love, providing that safety for her because he's not emotionally reacting. He's going to lead her out of whatever the control pattern is and into letting go. So that's what a healthy man is supposed to be doing. In addition, what he is supposed to be doing is creating the safety for her to let go in all other ways in the relationship. Because a healthy masculine man, in a relationship or just in a dating experience, like even first date kind of thing, a healthy masculine man is going to know, if not conceptually, if not from his brain, at least from his heart, from his body, from his instinct, he's going to know, if I'm not clear with a woman, if I'm not explaining what's going to be happening or how I feel about her, what she means to me, all of this kind of stuff, if I'm not doing that, she's going to feel anxious. Understandably. Of course she's going to feel anxious, because you're in the role of letting go. You're not in charge. You're not in control, unless you're with a really emasculated man where you are in charge. But if you're with a masculine man, or if you want a masculine man, then he's going to be the one that's in charge of the dynamic. He's going to be leading. And so a healthy masculine man is going to know, okay, she's going to feel anxious if I am not stepping up to lead and give her clarity about my inner vision, about what she means to me, about where things are headed. And so because his protector instinct is online, it's like, I'm here to protect this woman, he is going to protect her from that anxiety, from that potential future anxiety, by making it really clear for her about where things are going and what she means to him and what the plans are and all of that, so that she can relax, so that her nervous system can relax, so that she can just flow and trust and have faith in his leadership and not have to go into one of her control patterns, right? Because here's the healthy mindset of a masculine man. And this took me 35 years minimum, and I would say even a little bit past that, as I was really stepping into becoming more emotionally responsible with my wife. The mindset of a masculine man, a healthy masculine man, is if my woman or my date is having to control in some kind of way, she's in some kind of control pattern, then that means I am failing in my leadership in some way. There's something that I'm not providing that I could be providing. Now, that doesn't mean that he's beating himself up about it, right? When my wife starts questioning me about something, or, she asks me a question about what the plans are, it's not like I'm like, oh man, I failed again. I'm so terrible. I'm not masculine enough. Because a healthy masculine man, he's not identified with how masculine he is. He doesn't really care in that sense because it's not part of his identity. But he does care in the sense that, okay, this is my responsibility, and he wants to do a responsible, good job because he cares about his woman. And he also just cares for himself. So takes, I don't know if takes pride is the right phrase. It's not a pride thing, but he wants to do a good job. And so if a woman is in a control pattern, say this is like a fifth date, and he hasn't provided any clarity about like, what does this woman mean to me yet? Like, and where are things going? What do I, where am I taking her? Or where do I plan to take her? Or what do I know so far? If the woman has to ask, and even ask respectfully, right? Like, there's so many ways she could ask kind of unintentionally disrespectfully, like, we need to talk would be a good thing, right? When a woman says we need to talk, she's energetically leading. Like, she's taking the lead to start a conversation energetically. If you've ever said that, don't say that. Feminine communication is more going to start with something like, may I please have some help with something, or may I have some clarity, or may I have help with my feelings, right? Because she's feeling some anxiety. That's generally how a conversation is going to start around these kind of topics, where, yeah, you're initiating in a sense, you're going first, but you're not actually leading the conversation. You're energetically opening yourself for the man to lead the conversation instead. It's a subtle difference, but it actually makes a really big difference as far as polarity goes, right? He's not going to feel led. He's going to feel inspired to want to lead and want to take care of you, which is ultimately what what you need, what you want. But if a woman, to a healthy masculine man, when a woman has to ask questions, even respectfully, even using feminine communication, like, may I have some clarity about something, right? And she asks like where things are going, or like what this relationship means, or this dynamic means. To a healthy masculine man, to his mindset, it's going to be like, okay, I've already kind of failed a little bit. I've already dropped the ball by not being as fully clear in my expectations and my inner vision for this dynamic with where things are going. Now, to be fair, hypothetically, I suppose, a woman could be so unbelievably deeply insecure that she's like asking that stuff way before she should ever be asking. It's like, it's first date. Like, what do I mean to you? In my experience, women aren't asking that. Just, I've dated hundreds of women. I've never had anything like that, but I'm sure those women do exist. I would say the bigger issue for most women, especially early on, later on in a relationship, it's more going to be about clarity about plans and, what's happening with the kids and that kind of thing. But early on, the bigger problem for women is avoiding speaking up. It's like you feel the anxiety. It's like, oh, I don't know what is going on. What do I mean to him? Because like we're only seeing each other. Say it was a situation where a man is only making plans with you once a week, which in most cases actually means he's not as serious about you as he should be. There's exceptions to that, but in general, if a man really likes you, like if you're the one, he's probably going to be making it possible to see each other twice a week. But that's a side tangent. Anyway, say you were only seeing a man once a week and he's leading that. You're feeling some anxiety about that. Typically, really early on, a woman's just going to hide that. And then as a woman either gets more comfortable in the relationship or just gets increasingly anxious and frustrated because like the man's just really not stepping up, now she's going to start to share more, right? She's going to start asking questions, where is this headed? Or start stepping into a control pattern of, this is really bad if women do this, by the way. So much worse than just asking leading questions. A woman who starts initiating, it's like, let's hang out, or can we hang out, or like I got these tickets to do this or whatever. If a woman's ever doing that, ever with a man, like things are so bad and depolarized. So I hope that's not you. Doesn't mean it can't be turned around, right? We have, in our academy program, we've turned around hugely problematic situations. But you do need to recognize this is really depolarized because you're really stepping into the leading role a lot. By the way, if you've gotten this far into the video, you probably are really enjoying it, getting something out of it. Be sure to like this video if you haven't done that yet. That helps my algorithm, that helps me, that helps other women find my work. And every woman who is ready to receive my message, and there's a lot of them out there, they need to find this. Because there's not many voices that are speaking on this level. I don't actually know any that are speaking on this level with the accuracy of feminine communication especially. They need to find this. There's a lot that are not ready for this either. They're going to have to suffer a whole bunch more. Be sure to subscribe to my channel as well, because so you don't lose me, so that you keep watching these videos. This is only one video. There's so many more where I help put the pieces together for you of what masculine and feminine polarity look like, masculine and feminine communication, how to show up with a man, how to be respectful to a man, how to solve issues that come up. Actually, you're not solving the issues, you're inspiring a man to solve these issues, how to shift into your self-worth, how to love yourself more, how to fully just let go of control in every kind of way. I'm covering all this stuff in these videos. So if those are things that you want help with, definitely subscribe so that you can learn so much more from everything that I share and put out here for free. What else? So a masculine man, he's going to see when a woman has to step up and start asking these questions, like what are we, or where are things going, or like shares her anxiety or whatever it is. he should already be feeling like I've failed in some kind of way. Not beating himself up, but just how can I more proactively create the safety that this woman needs so that she can fully relax. This, when I really understood this on a deep level, it is such a huge game changer. And it's so funny because like, this is why I'm like in some ways really dumb, I think, where I had spent a decade learning about masculine feminine dynamics. Like I learned through pickup, right? Pickup artistry, which I don't really support anymore, but it really did help me in a lot of ways because I was really shy and had no idea how to talk to a woman 17 years ago. Like I couldn't be doing this, couldn't be talking about any of this, and couldn't talk to a woman like one-on-one and actually have a conversation. That's how bad I was, like really bad social anxiety, especially with women. And so I learned, I talked to tens of thousands of women and dated many women and blah, blah, blah. And this is all before I met my wife about a decade ago. And yet through all of that experience, I didn't really understand just how much anxiety women are feeling a lot of the time. Specifically, when a man is not stepping up into the leading role to create that safety for her. The safety of like, here is the clarity that you need to be able to let go. Also, there's other forms of safety too, right? Being emotionally centered all of the time. Actually, that would be, and just leading things forward, right? Like showing her that he cares. Those are probably like 3, I haven't actually broken this down, but those are going to be like kind of the 3 really big pieces. Showing that he cares, giving her the clarity that she needs about where things are going, and being fully emotionally centered all the time, and from a place of strength, right? Like she can feel his backbone. It's like, I can't control this guy. There's safety in that as well. I can't control this guy because he's so strong and powerful, and he's using his power to take care of me. He's using his control to take care of me. That's the kind of safety that a woman needs. So I didn't really understand this on a really deep level at all, or much of a level at all, especially the clarity piece. But the more that a man understands a woman, the more that he is going to take that clarity piece seriously and think about how to provide that to her proactively, not reactively, not when she asks for the clarity. Yes, that as well, but more importantly, like I am going to be so clear on what's happening, where things are going, how I feel about you, that she doesn't even need to ask in the first place. Those questions don't even need to come up. And this perspective shift was really big for me in my marriage as well. Like where a lot of what I've talked about is early dating, but in a relationship, it's like every time my wife asks me a question about plans, about what I'm doing today, about my schedule, about what's happening with our daughter, things like that, I ask myself, could I have anticipated this question ahead of time and provided her with clarity ahead of time so that she didn't even need to ask in the first place? Because here's something that's really interesting and important with feminine communication. Feminine communication, actually, so a bit of a background. Feminine communication is an absolute game changer, right? So we teach women in our academy program how to make all of these shifts, and a big part of it is teaching a woman feminine communication, how to communicate her needs and her feelings in any kind of situation in a way that is going to be really respectful to a man and also self-honoring for herself, which because of that energy, she's energetically letting go. She's in her feminine energy, and this naturally inspires a man to want to give her what she needs. This isn't manipulative, right? Because if you're manipulative, it's not actually truly feminine. It's a feminine costume, but you're actually in a subtle masculine energy because you're trying to get an outcome. Whenever you're trying to get an outcome, you're in masculine energy, just so you know, whether you're doing it unconsciously, consciously, manipulatively, or directly, overtly. It's a form of masculine energy, not always healthy masculine energy either. And when you're in masculine energy, you're going to be demotivating a man. You're going to be pushing him away. You're going to be making him lose interest in wanting to take care of you because you're depolarizing the dynamic. You're kind of shifting him more into the feminine role, the follower role, and you're shifting into the leading role. Now, a really healthy masculine man, he's not going to let you do that. He's going to lovingly tell you, like, hey, sweetheart, you're leading right now. Don't do that. Just tell me what you're feeling, or ask permission for whatever you need, or whatever. And then you shift back into your feminine energy. But most men are not going to know how to do that. They might feel the irritation that you're causing because you're leading. And then the more that you lead, the more that they become demotivated to step up and be the masculine men that you need. And then you start feeling more anxiety, and then that anxiety starts to spiral out of control in many cases. And then you start to be more unintentionally disrespectful, and eventually the relationship falls apart in many cases. It's because women don't know how to be women, men don't know how to be men. There's no blame about that. It's just this is the situation we find ourselves in at this time period, and I'm here to help you shift that. So anyway, feminine communication is a way for you to shift any dynamic where there's a lack of polarity and the man's not fully stepping up in the way that you need, so that he starts to be inspired to step up more and more so that your needs get met. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you, so there's a reason I'm talking about feminine communication, and it's about the fact that the feminine instinct would prefer not to be sharing anything at all. So I'm going to talk about that in one sec, but before we do, I'm just going to briefly talk about how we can help you. So in our Academy program, if you want this help, if you want to be basically taken by the hand and led through this process, learn feminine communication, get the correction that you need to be able to apply it properly, learn how to let go of all of your control patterns that you're stuck in, this is what we help you do in our Academy. And I would love to talk with you to find out, so both of us can find out if the Academy is the right fit for you, if we can actually help you make these shifts. The way that we do that is you'll go below this video, open up a description, you're going to click the link relationshipyourdreams.com. You're going to watch the video on that website. It's about 10 minutes. It's going to be really helpful and probably inspiring for you. And then you book the call below that video, and it's a free call with me. We'll talk all about what's going on in your love life, and I'll give you some coaching on what I'm seeing, some direction, and we'll see, can we help you solve whatever problem you're experiencing. Wherever you're at, your love life might be somewhat good right now, or it might be a train wreck, disaster, or anywhere in between, and we'll help you make it far better by learning how to apply this. So it's relationshipyourdreams.com. You book that call, we'll just have a really fun call. And the feminine communication piece to this is the feminine instinct would much prefer not even having to ask in the first place, right? In our Academy, there's women that are resistant to like some aspects of feminine communication, like asking for permission because of like wounding, right? If you have any judgment or resistance to any of the communication, it's because there's a wound in the way. That's okay. We can help you shift that over time. But even beyond that, even when women really love using feminine communication, they love being permissive, it's so much better when a man takes the lead so that she doesn't even have to ask in the first place, right? Instead of saying like, may I have some clarity about this? It feels so much better to a woman where a man's just like, hey, sweetheart, I'm going to give you some clarity about this situation. I'm going to give you some clarity about where we're at, how I'm feeling about things. And then you don't even have to ask. You're just going to feel so much more held. Which isn't a feeling, so much more taken care of, which also isn't a feeling. These are perceptions. But you're going to feel relaxation, you're going to feel ease, you're going to feel joy, you're going to feel happy because you're just being taken care of in this way. But the problem is, here's the big problem. Women with this mindset of, I would rather the man just lead, and so that I don't even have to ask. Part of this is feminine instinct, part of this is also wounding, right? Like you're naturally avoidant because you don't want to be rejected or abandoned for being too much, for being too nosy, for being too needy, or whatever the fear is. So you avoid, and then because you avoid, that means that you're not in your feminine self-worth. And because you're not in your feminine self-worth, a man's going to lose attraction and inspiration to take care of you. And because he loses that inspiration, because he can't feel your self-worth, now he isn't really motivated to want to take care of you in the same kind of way. Now, a really healthy masculine man, he's going to want to lead regardless. Okay? He's going to keep leading. But unless you've done your polarity work, your femininity work, your self-worth work, you're probably not going to be attracting that kind of man anyway. You're going to be having to settle for less than you really ideally need. Just like the man that you choose is also going to be settling for less than what he really needs, right? Because what a man needs is a woman who is fully vulnerable, fully open, never avoiding communicating her needs, fully in her self-worth, fully in her feminine, just the most respectful, vulnerable woman that she can possibly be. And that's probably not you right now. You might be really motivated for that to be who you are, but you're not there yet. So you're, in a way, it's kind of a crappy way to describe it, but in a way you're both kind of settling for less than what you actually need. And your job is to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be. Yes, for him to meet his needs, but more importantly for yourself. Like, I want to be the most feminine woman I can be for myself, because it feels so much better for me to be in my feminine, and for me to not just, like, for example, be feeling all this anxiety and holding on to it and not communicating what's coming up for me and just suffering. But by doing that, and by going through that work, you shift into your self-worth and you start to inspire man so much more. And then as you do this, the more that you shift into your self-worth, the more that you inspire a man, or the more masculine a man that you attract, the less that you need to even ask for help, ask for clarity in the first place, because the man is being more and more proactive. It's like, is that a catch-22? I don't know what that is. It's like, the better that you get at asking, at communicating your needs, the less that you need to ask for your needs to be met. And I don't know if I've ever used this analogy on these videos. I think I might have in the academy. Is like a ninja, like a black belt ninja who could just beat the crap out of anybody. And he's walking down the street, and just his energy is so powerful. Nobody's going to mess with him, because they can just sense, like, oh yeah, if I mess with this guy, he's going to beat the crap out of me. Whereas a guy who's like a little weakling and like really insecure, there's going to be bullies with that bully energy that are going to be like, yeah, that guy's weak, right? And little kids can sense this on the playground too. So it's the same kind of thing, except we're not talking about beating the crap out of someone. We're talking about your self-worth. By you making these shifts, you change the way that a man responds to you. And that's amazing. Like, what a beautiful, powerful message that is. That you have the power to do that. And without even trying, because you're not even trying to get that outcome, you're just doing this for you. Tell me in the comments, have you ever experienced something like that before? Tell me, have you experienced when you're just fully in your self-worth, and it might just have just been temporary. Have you ever experienced a man who just treats you as so worthy? And some women can do this much easier early on, but then they lose, we'll call it the frame. They lose that belief in themselves, and all their abandonment stuff comes up. So tell me that. And be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe. If you are here this long, I don't even know how far we're into this video, make sure that you subscribe, because obviously this is something that's really important to you. This is really helpful for you. And again, be sure to like this video as well. Yeah, so feminine communication is going to ultimately shift this so that you can have the most masculine man that you can have. And it's important for you to know what this masculine man looks like, right? This is why I've spent a lot of time talking about the masculine mindset and how he would show up for you proactively and why he would be doing that, because that is what you need. I have spent this video telling you this is what one of your feminine needs is, and this is normal, and this is healthy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you for wanting this, for craving this. Of course you need it. And now that you're probably more aware than you were before this video about what kind of man you need, how he needs to be showing up for you, don't make that like, oh, this is my expectation, and get all entitled about it, because entitlements aren't going to inspire man. But you got to feel that need deeply, that yearning for that level of devotion, care, and safety for you. And then you need to start showing up in a way to communicate those needs and those feelings and the problems that you're experiencing. You need to shift into your self-worth to start inspiring a man into becoming that man for you, meeting that need for you, which is absolutely possible, and it's absolutely what you deserve. This video is actually in a series, just so you know. So if this topic is really interesting, definitely go in the description and check out my other videos, some of which I've made, some of which I may still be making for this series, so that you can get the most comprehensive view and understanding of how a man should be showing up, what you should be doing, as far as feminine communication. I don't really talk much about it in this video, but I do in some of the other videos, and how you can get your needs met as a woman. Start accepting yourself fully. You're fully worthy of this level of care from a man. You just need to believe it, and you need to start showing up as if, by using feminine communication. And of course, if you would like help learning how to become that woman, unleashing that woman who's actually already inside of you, she's just covered up in control patterns and fears, I would love to help you. Like I said again, relationshipyourdreams.com. In the comments, click it, watch the video, book that call. We'll have a fantastic call talking about what's going on in your love life and what you need to do to shift, and we'll find out if the academy is right for you. And usually women who book this call, the academy usually is a really good fit, and it usually is exactly what you need. We can help you, and we can help you do it way, way faster than you otherwise would. It's like, you probably don't want to take years and years and years to make these shifts, and we'll help you make these shifts as quickly as possible. If you're not ready for that, that's okay. Keep watching these videos. They're still going to be very helpful for you. I do provide a ton of free information for you to start understanding all of this, what feminine communication looks like, how to show up as a beautiful feminine woman, and how to attract that really powerful, strong masculine man, whether you're in a relationship with a man already and you're inspiring him, or you're attracting that kind of man from the get-go. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, for staying with me, and I will see you for the next one.